Welcome, beautiful friends, to the Way of Mastery, lesson number 2. Didn't we have a good time exploring lesson number 1? Wow, wasn't that deep? I mean, it's beautiful. You know, he set the 4 cornerstones for the entire pathway in that first lesson that he channeled. And of course, we had a good time going deeper. How many of you experienced there was much more depth to it than you maybe experienced on your first pass at it? Of course, yes. So tonight we're going to get to listen to lesson number 2, which is very, very exciting. Oh, Stephen, I forgot to ask you to turn our projector on. Thank you. So it'll take a moment for that to warm up. You're a pro at that, by the way. I appreciate that. After a year, we've finally got a handy assistant. So those of you who have not been to a channeling before, this is a Jeshua channeling directly through a guy whose name is also John Mark. His name is John Mark Hammer. He goes by J.M., J-A-Y-E-M. And he channeled 36 lessons, which is called the Way of Mastery through J.M. He's channeled a ton of stuff through J.M., but the primary components of the pathway, the first 12 lessons are called the Way of the Heart, and we're currently on number 2 of the Way of the Heart. The middle section is called the Way of Transformation, and the last section is called the Way of Knowing. And the one reminder that I'll pull out of the first lesson that he said was really important, that this is the final pathway any soul will ever need to make their way towards. That's really exciting. Isn't that exciting? I mean, so it may sound confusing. You may not know what it all means now, but nonetheless, he assures us that this is the last pathway that any soul will need. So, that's exciting stuff. So before we get started tonight, one of the things that our egoic consciousness does is it acts as a gatekeeper. You know, it's constantly processing information that's coming in and deciding bullshit, no, yes, like this, no, that's threatening. I mean, it's doing it all the time. And what we want to try and do is let that part of our mind just rest. These are only ideas. They can't hurt you. They might wake you up, but they're not going to hurt you. So what we want to do is let our mind be at rest so that we can just let it come in. You're going to hear some stuff that's going to cause your mind to go, what the hell is he talking about? Try to just not engage in it and let this just land in your being. Just like a pebble being dropped in a pond. The ripples are going to make their way across your consciousness on their own. Gravity will pull that pebble all the way down to the bottom. You don't have to do anything here except be open and willing. But to get us in that state of being, our beautiful friend Kristen Shelley is back tonight. She's a great friend of mine. She's here in Asheville. She's a certified hypnotist. She's not going to hypnotize us tonight, but if you need some help with that, I know she could help you do that. But she's going to use her gift to help get us relaxed and to get us in a place of openness and willingness. So with that, Kristen, thank you for coming back.
So nice to be here. Thank you so much, John Mark.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
Glad you're here.
So I am going to be just taking you on a process of relaxation. I suggest that you enjoy the process, use it to your advantage because it's so important and healthy to be able to relax. And when we allow our mind to recede, our critical mind, and our subconscious mind is more open to receiving the messages more directly via the heart, and that's the point. So I'm happy to be here and assisting in that. So this is me guiding you. You take yourself down and enjoy. So I'm going to have you begin just by choosing a spot up on the ceiling, but keeping your chin at eye level. So slightly at a 45-degree angle, good. And just get comfortable with that process of finding that spot. And in a moment, I'm just going to count down from 10 to 1. And before I get to 1, or when I get to 1, you can just allow your eyes to gently close anytime you feel like letting your eyes close. And just make sure your eyes are pointed up and your chin is slightly level. Good. So now let's just take a moment as I start to count. And whenever your eyes are tired, just allow them to close. And 10, just use your imagination. Imagine your eye muscles relaxing and softening. 9, letting the muscles around your eyes just get soft and tired, allowing yourself to enjoy the feelings of relaxation around your eyes. 8. Relaxing more and more. 7. And anytime your eyes feel tired or heavy, just let them close and enjoy the process of relaxation. 6. 5. Further down. 4. More and more relaxed. Good. 3. Good. 2. Nice. And 1. Everyone just relaxing now, just allowing your body and your mind to start to take a break from worry, a break from concerns. This next hour or so is just for you and your healing and your heart to connect. So just listen to my voice as I guide you gently further. Just put your concentration gently on your feet. Allow your feet to soften and relax. It's best probably to uncross anything that might go numb, at any point making yourself as comfortable as possible. Good. Now before we move up the body, I just want you to picture a white light. Just picture a white light in your mind. It can be sparkling and shimmering. And imagine that white light brings peace and relaxation. Just give that thought some space in your mind and allow that white light to start at your feet. And as you relax your feet, imagine that white light starting in at your feet. And just bring that light up into your calves, allowing your calves to soften and relax. Nice. Up into your thighs, softening, relaxing. Just letting go any tension in your thighs. Softening your abdomen, letting any tension go in your stomach or your lower back. Imagining that white light just bringing peace and relaxation as it travels now up into your heart and lungs, becoming aware of your breath, touching in with your breath now. Letting your breath soften and slow, seeing if you can notice your heart rate, your beating of your heart. Moving that white shimmering light down your arms, allowing your arms to relax completely and totally, all the way down to the tips of your fingers, calm and relaxed. Good. Letting yourself sink down into the feeling of relaxation. Now moving that relaxation up into your jaw, softening your tongue, unclenching your teeth, and lightly parting your lips if you like, if that's most comfortable. Good. Letting yourself feel the pull of gravity on your cheeks, allowing your eyelids to feel smooth and light, letting all tension go from your eyelids. Good. Paying special attention to all the muscles around your eyes, sometimes having to actually allow your brow to unfurrow, softening and relaxing your brow. Now just allowing that white light to enter into your mind, using your imagination, allowing that white light to enter into your mind, filling your mind with feelings of peace and relaxation. Just imagine that white light, calm and relaxing. Now I'm going to ask each of you to use your imagination. I want you each to create a chalkboard in your mind's eye. And I want you to create this chalkboard in your mind's eye any way you'd like it. And I want you to use all your senses. So I want you to imagine maybe picking up a piece of chalk, feeling that chalk between your fingers. And imagine drawing a 12-inch circle on the chalkboard, feeling the tension of the chalk where the chalk meets the chalkboard. Seeing if you can feel the texture and hear the sound and see the picture. Now in this circle, I'd like you to draw the letter A, really taking special note to use your imagination to see if you're writing uppercase or lowercase. Make it as real for yourself as possible. Really indulge your senses here. Now I want you to imagine taking an eraser and erasing the letter A. And taking a step back and just noticing what you have, which would be your chalkboard, the color of the chalkboard, the frame, the 12-inch circle, and some dust where the letter A used to be. Good. Now I want you to draw a B and erase the B. And a C and erase the C. Now just hold it for a moment and wait for my further instructions. When I tell you to go ahead, you'll continue with the alphabet, making a D and erasing it and making an E and so forth. But once you start to do that, from this point forward, don't listen to me anymore. I'll be talking. But don't make any effort to listen to me. You will be hearing me, but don't follow my instructions. I'll be talking to your subconscious mind, which always hears, which always pays attention. Just keep on doing your job all the way through the alphabet. And when you get to the letter Z, you can just listen to me once again. And if I finish before you get to the letter Z, just move on with me. So you can begin now by making a letter D and erasing it and keep on going. But pay no further attention to me. Just draw the letter and erase the letter. Another one and erase that. On and on through the alphabet. And each letter you make and each letter you erase causes you to relax more and more. And each letter you make and each letter you erase causes you to drift more easily and readily into relaxation. And the closer you come to the letter Z, the more relaxed you get. And with each letter you make and each letter you erase, you feel yourself drifting down and down, deeper into the relaxation, feeling more pleasant and more peaceful and serene as you keep on going down, deeper and deeper, with each letter you draw in that circle and each letter you erase in that circle. You allow yourself to go deeper and deeper down, feeling more pleasant, more peaceful, and more serene as you go deeper and deeper down. Good. Now you can just erase that board right out of your mind. Just erase everything right out of your mind and just listen to what I'm about to say next. Just erase all of that from your mind. Now I'm going to have you guide you on some nice relaxation process here. Imagine you're standing outside in the moonlight at the top of a lovely stairway, and it's a lovely warm night. And the stairway is made of white marble and are lit all the way down with lamplights. You can see the stairs are wide, and they wind gently down, and at the bottom of the stairs is a lovely pool. And as you look down the stairs, you notice there are 10 steps leading gently down. These are the stairs that will take you into deep relaxation. See yourself there at the top of the stairs as I count down from 10 to 1. See yourself stepping down with each count. 10, 9, 8, further down, deeper down. 7, 6, relaxing more and more, just really letting go. 5, 4, not having to be anyone or do anything, just surrendering to the feelings. 3, 2, and 1. And now you're standing at the bottom of the stairs and you notice a beautiful pool, and floating on top of the water are thousands of rose petals. Just imagine. The fragrances from the roses are so lovely. See if you can smell that smell or remember what a rose smells like. The water is very warm and inviting, and so you lower yourself into the water and float along on a bed of rose petals. Just imagine your body floating on a bed of rose petals across this pool. The water supports your body. Feel your body bobbing gently up and down, up and down. Imagine it and experience it now. Continue floating along, enjoying these wonderful feelings, and allowing this one space, this one time where there's no worry, no concerns, just enjoyment. And let yourself drift and float and relax more and more with each breath you take. For with each breath you take, and with each word that is uttered, this wonderful floating feeling fills you with a mixture of calm and tranquility, and you find yourself drifting and floating to a wonderful, safe, relaxing place. Good. And now I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. This is a direct suggestion that your mind and your heart be open to the words of John Mark as they are on this audio recording, remembering why we're here, allowing ourselves to feel deeply, to be transformed deeply by these words, allowing this moment to be as profound as any moment could possibly be, allowing yourself to change, feel, and absorb these words, feeling so good and calm, knowing this is the exact right place to be at the exact right moment. In the name of Jesus.
Thank you very much. Very briefly, we'll start with the Lord's Prayer, and then I will join with Jeshua, and when he tells me we're ready, I'll start the channeling. The channeling will end with the Lord's Prayer. That's an indication to you you've got about 3 minutes to kind of come back, because it'll end after the Lord's Prayer at the end.
WOM, the Boshmaya, Nita Kadash Shema, Tete Malkuda, Neve Sidinach, Akina, the Boshmaya, O Baraha, Haulan, Lachman, Sunkanan, Yamana, Boshwoklan, Halpin, Akina, Dapanan, Shwakin, Il Hayabin, Ula Talan, Il Nision, El Passan Mbisha, Method Lachim El Kuda, Uhaila, Utish Bhakta, La Alam, Amin, Amen. Shmaya, Need Kadash Shema, Tete Melkuda, Nehwe Sivina, Akanad Washmaya, Opadaha, Haulan Lachman, Sunkhan Yamana, Ashwoklan Habin, Aikana Dapanan Shwakin Hayabin, Ula Talan Mission, El Pasan Isha, but all the lucky Melkuda. Uhaila, Utishbokta, La Allah, Amin, Amen.
You just need to open and receive. Let your mind be as still as possible and just open and receive. If you're not comfortable in the bed, get up and go sit, but just be light and comfortable. Don't effort at going back to sleep. Just open and receive. Don't try and help. You don't need to do that. Just receive. It's a beautiful time of attunement. So let's see. Next week, we will dive deeper into lesson number 2. I don't know how much we'll get through. We'll get through what we get through. But I will peel it back and bring light to deeper and deeper parts of that so that the understanding, the realization can fall deeper and deeper within your being. So does anyone have any questions or comments tonight? I'm going to ask for one volunteer. I'll put you on notice that it's coming. We'll start with Sandra.
Can you just go over the 3 things that he said to do every day? I just want to make sure I know what they are.
I'll do my best. I'm not so coherent right now after an hour and a half of what I just sat through. So 3 to 5 minutes of innocent attuning with, I create my experience. I've created this. Literally, I mean, look around at whatever it is, your hand. I mean, you are, in the moment, you are creating that live in an infinite field of consciousness. A breeze that's hitting you, you are creating. A sound you're hearing that the mind would tell you is coming from over there somewhere, you are the one field of consciousness in which that is creating. And I don't say the body is creating it. He's trying to get you to shift up to the creative level out of the body-mind level. So 3 to 5 minutes every hour. Oh, yeah, take an everyday experience, mundane as might be, and marvel at the absolute mystery that is in that experience. I mean, the thing is, we are creating in every instant amazing and miraculous things, but we've become so dull to them that we don't even know. We don't even notice them anymore. So find one of those things, and whatever it is, just take a moment of reveling with what that activity is every time you do it. And you'll come to find something as simple as raising your hand. How do you do that? How do you do that? I mean, somebody could give me some biological psychobabble or something about, but how does that happen? How does anything happen? But you can start with something simple before you move up to the really big. And what was the third one?
3 to 5 minutes where I need do nothing.
Oh yes, 3 to 5 minutes of I need do nothing. Thank you, Marion, for helping me. And this beautiful thing, because this is a twofold, and I'll get to it when we deepen it, but I'll touch on it real quickly here. The truth of your divinity is, you don't need to do anything to create it. It is. It already exists. And as omnipotent beingness, which is the truth of every being, there is no power outside of you or authority greater than you that would dictate to you anything that you need do. He's trying to recognize, okay, here's the truth. I'm throwing it out there and I want to drop it in your consciousness and get you to start playing with it. But of course, everything, now that truth is going to drag up everything out of your consciousness that's not like it. I got to do this. 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 And in every one of those that comes up, you're going to see, oh my gosh, I'm identified with that instead of my divinity. Then you have a choice. Because he's saying it's all about choice. Nothing's happening to you. Which of those two are you going to identify with? The fearful little body mind that seems to be at need and under control by all umpteen influences outside of yourself, or your divinity. So that's a beautiful one to play with. And I mean, that one will drag up stuff out of the depth of your consciousness that you may not know is there. Because when you start recognizing that you think you need to eat, you think you need to survive, you think you need to have friends. You think you need, you'll start to uncover layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and that's all the stuff that's got to come up so you can disidentify with it. So, Marion, thank you for your help to help Sandra. Now, in lesson 1, and I'll remind you for those of you here who might be watching online, Jesus said, if you will make a place in your mind and heart, I will join you there. And you've heard in this work over and over and over, you cannot go home without a guide. You will be run around the labyrinth of your mind for lifetime after lifetime, eon after eon. However, if you think you're going to find the way out on your own, it's not until we surrender the pride of saying, I have to do this my way, and we're willing to take a guide's hand, and that can be Jesus. And as he said, he comes with many. He's not the only one. And he says this over and over because he's trying to undo this perception in the world that he is the absolute only one, and if it's not in his name, it's bunk. And he's saying, no, that's bunk. So whatever your inner guide is, whatever you feel a sense of connection to, and name doesn't matter. If it's Mother Mary, if it's the universe, if it's the Creator, if it's the cosmos, if it's some relative of yours that you believe can get you home. It doesn't matter what you name it, but you start to look to a greater source within your consciousness. So, Joy, in the back, is going to tell us about her experience of making space for Jesus and what happened. So, Joy, thank you for your willingness to share.
I was struck by Jesus saying that I and these masses of other beings only await your asking. Just invite us. We're at the other end of the telephone. And so on the way home that night, I'm having a little chat with Jesus, and I said, how do I know it's you, and how does it happen? And this is after doing a lot of, inviting, and then freaking out and going, whoa, wait a minute. How does it work? And he just took me to what I can only call the mount and looked at me just as if you would imagine John Mark to do and go, well, would this work? It was just so precious.
Yes.
It was just precious.
Thank you, Joy. So there's a couple of clues in Joy's thing for you. She asked, how does this work? And she asked for the help. She didn't say, it's got to look this way or I won't believe it. She asked, and it wasn't just once that she asked. She asked many times, come, 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 come. Because they can't come any closer than you're willing to let them in. Because if you have an experience like that and you're not ready, it'll scare the shit out of you. And, he talked about many people who are depressed and in hospitals sometimes have had those kind of things and they just can't reconcile them, and kind of dementia or whatever can come on. So make the space and invite. And he says in the introduction over and over, it is our joy to come and join with you. It's their joy. It's not an obligation. It's not a burden. You're not interrupting something by inviting them. Rather, they are waiting. Will it be today? Will it be today? Will it be today? They're ready. They're willing. This is their function. This is what they do. It's their joy. Not to put a guilt trip on you, because that's not the way we work, but why don't you join them in that joy? They've got an unlimited supply and they're more than happy to share it. So, and I just think that's beautiful that, of course, Joy told us that. I just love the miraculous synchronicities in this non-accidental universe of ours. So, Paula up front.
How can I always look with innocence upon a brother in Christ, who has continually cheated or tried to cheat me and one I love?
Well, it starts with the choice. I'll tell you the technique that worked for me. I would choose to see the Christ that was behind the body. And I would always in my mind picture this clown's nose, knowing that Christ was playing that role of whatever that being is that's trying to cheat you. Because in truth, we're all Christ. But in our incarnation, we went through this whole list of things and we picked up a script. And we said, I'm going to play Paula. Or I'm going to play Bob or whoever. And we just got so identified with that script that we forgot we were Christ playing that part. And just like any actor, a great actor will get really, really into the part. I mean, Jack Nicholson says he went crazy when he was doing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because he had to get into the part. Well, we've all won the Academy Award. We've all done it. We've all gotten that crazy. So I would choose to see the truth of that being rather than the body-mind script, rather than their mask. And it helped me in my mind to put this nose on the, because I knew they were just acting. They may not realize it yet. They may be so deeply asleep and so into their part, but they're just playing. They're going to wake up out of it. And the truly powerful, miraculous thing is that as you begin to see the Christ in them, the Christ will begin to arise from within them because it's acknowledged. And that's how powerful each and every one of us are. That's the miracle worker that the whole Course in Miracles was trying to get us to step into. I'll look past your story. I'll look past your fears and your guilt and your crazy thoughts, and I'll see divinity behind. I'll see perfect innocence. I'll see radiant creation, and I'll know, just like he says in this lesson, you're creating this experience of your free will. And thank you, Father, for giving us the free will that we can all create whatever we would want. So, I would be celebrating the fact that they're playing their script so well, even if it was in their own suffering. Because I know they're doing it out of their absolute freedom. And why not? So it's the willingness on your part to look past the script to the Christ behind. And our unwillingness to do that tells us that we're identified with our script. We don't want to see our divinity or theirs, so we only perceive the body, mind, and the masks. So the more you're willing to take a step back and look beyond the mask of the other, you will be co-creating Christ. You will be raising the dead, and the blind will begin to see. And that's what this work is. You guys all come. I don't see bunches of, I see bunches of bodies with the eyes, but I see one Christ. And the shifts that many of you have had is because that's what's happening. Christ is inviting Christ to drop the act. That was Jesus' whole thing about the resurrection. He came back to say, bam, wait a minute, do you guys see? You don't have to play so serious. This isn't such a big deal. And effectively, that's what any of us who awaken do. Because we've given up our story. We know it was nothing but an innocent game, a sandcastle. So I see everybody building their sandcastles. Well, great. It's no big deal. It's not a problem. So the more you're willing to let go of your script, you'll be easier to let go of theirs. And when you're willing to see yourself in perfection and guiltlessness and innocence and accept, hey, I was just playing this game. It was a game. It was nothing more. Then you'll accept your innocence. Now you have that gift of the miracle to extend to the Christ that is the other. And miracles will start in ways that you can't imagine. And it's happened in this room as people have awoken in this room. Because I choose to see nothing but the limitless Christ in each and every one of you. And I will do nothing else until time is finished for every being. Because it's only for myself. Why not? So I hope that helps. It gives you some strategies. And by the way, there are plenty of clown's noses over there. And maybe you could con this guy into wearing one. I mean, that might give you an easier visual. So, I hope that helps, Paula. Anyone else? Okay, Mark.
If Jesus identified as the Son of God, why did he say he was the Son of Man?
Because like you and like me and like Leslie and like every one of us, we think we're the body. So we think we are one of mankind, that we are the son or daughter of the system of the body being born. We all start there. That was his asleep state. His enlightened state, his awakened state, is as the Son of God, which is the truth for each and every one of us. Now, a lot of mainstream religion has tried to say he was the only one Son of God and the rest of us are screwed. You hear, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's just the ego trying to say, oh my God, the truth got snuck into the dream. We got to cover all that up or everybody's going to know they're divine. And oh shit, then who can suffer if everybody's divine? So the Son of God is when we wake up out of that misidentification. He talked about that in the 40 days and 40 nights, where his identity shifted from the body-mind to the Christ. And when that happens within your being, that's when all you can see is Christ. That's when all you can see is God. Just in the same way that when you're a body-mind, all you can see is really body-mind. You can't perceive anything other than what you perceive yourself to be. So you'll see that he'll move through that process as he did in A Course in Miracles, where he's trying to reestablish your identity. I am the Son of God. The Father and I are one. He's starting to drop those pebbles in so the soul recognizes, what do you mean? I got a choice? Body or Christ? Because until those things drop deep in our consciousness, we don't believe we have a choice. We believe we're only a body, and the damn dream is so compelling, nothing would suggest to us anything else. So that's it. He was both, just as each of us are both. Does that help, Mark?
Not much.
Okay. Well, great.
What about Kuan Yin? You talked a lot about Mary, but what about Kuan Yin?
I have never heard that name. I can't answer that question for you.
Okay.
Anyone else? Well, like he said, he comes with a heavenly host to do this work. So do I. Because I would be nuts to try and do this by myself. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're going to get to the point where you recognize you are so absolutely, completely, 100% dependent on God, you couldn't even have misperceived yourself as a body without that total dependence on God. So we come to love you as we love ourselves, one self. And we love you with an absolutely infinite love and a perfect peace. And we hope you'll open and let us have our joy of playing with you. The game of awakening is really, really cool. Peace and good night.
Beautiful friend, thank you so much for watching. The way of mastery is truly indeed the pathway given to us by the Master himself, Jeshua. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're so moved to give a love offering, my family and I would joyfully welcome it. You can see there on the screen our website at onewhowakes.org. In the upper right-hand corner where that red arrow is a little give button. If you click there, you'll be directed to PayPal and you could put in a donation, and we would certainly appreciate it. Peace be with you.